All right, so when I got this jack, first thing I opened the box and this was right in my face. I should have just closed it up, sent it back. It says instructions for use when inflated, the jack ride and vice versa. That should have given me a clue that I just bought junk, right? You can't even write instructions and delivery inspection. Now this is the only instructions you get. Now you get a handful of bolts, some brackets, and parts, and this is the only instructions you get right here. Tells you nothing. In fact, they're written. I mean, see number 2. Firstly, pass the technical or the tracheal tube through the connecting rod 2. Sheath the pneumatic connector nut. By the way, that nut right there, don't tighten it up. It'll strip out. In tracheal tube into the pneumatic layup of the controls and tighten the nuts. Do not use excessive force, or they're serious there. And I got just past hand tight. I don't even think that. And the thread stripped out. Finally, connect the spindles with bolts. Now, I don't know what they're talking about because it does have wheels, but the wheels came attached from the factory, and that's the only spindle I could think of, but who knows? You can come over here. They got matters that need attention. Now, all of these are hilarious. I'm not going to go over them all. But number 6 here says, there is no need to raise the balloon to the maximum. I guess that would be the airbag. As long as to the desired height, such as to cram off the ground. That is to say, to close the ball value switch, to stop gas supply, to cram the safety ratchet, and then to work. There you go. So let's go over to the jack. Doesn't get any better. So here we got a jack. I'll tell you what, this thing here, this is it's tight on the, I don't know if you can see it there. The light's not very good, but there is a aluminum round piece that's attached to the airbag, and then we got the blue piece here that's the bottom, and it is not loose on that. It is loose on what I'm guessing it probably looks like this on the bottom, but you can't get to it where the airbag attaches to that round aluminum bracket. It looks basically be the same thing as this, and it is really loose. Now, the one and only time I tried it underneath the Bronco right here a little while ago, and when you air this thing up, which I can do here, make sure there we go, I can air it up, and it is got that same problem. It is so loose on there, rocks back and forth. Does the same thing when you're raising up the vehicle, just rocks back and forth. You know, if you had it on, say if you had it on jack stands on the back and you went to raise it up on the front to put a jack stand under one side, or whether you're going to put it underneath the front axle if you've got a 4-wheel drive, it's rocking enough that chances are it's going to fall off the jack stands you already put it on. So that right there, scary, but not as scary as the next part. So they basically, I think, went in and robbed the hospital of tubing off their old IV poles and turned it into an air hose. So I didn't cut this off. If you know you're going to use it and keep it, you cut it to length here. But this is your lifeline right here. This is what is going to keep the jack inflated. And if it gets a hole in it, blows hole, whatever, the jack's going to collapse. And this right here, so now that right there I tightened it down hand tight. I probably gave it 1/8 of a turn with a wrench, and it stripped the threads out just like instantly. Now it's got a repeat of this going into the bottom of the jack. It'd be very difficult to get to. If you wanted to replace this piece of tubing, I'm not quite sure how you get to it. You could, everything's possible. But there again, you got the same exact fitting, and that fitting that could be replaced here on this here is permanent fitting on the airbag, so you couldn't replace it. So if you strip that out, you're done. So and this is stripped out here. I just kind of finagled it enough to get it so I could air up and down. And I'm only using 25 psi on this to raise it. So anyway, there's that. These things are junk. I mean, you look at the blow-off valve here, and it is just it's just plastic junk. And this is your valve to let the air out here. You can see it's just really flimsy, and so if you're in a closed position right there, come around here and look at this, you can see in the closed position that it could easily be bumped and drop the jack. So, and then this one here is in the closed position to air it up. I can air it up there, open it, and that lets it go back down. There you go. And then this here, I don't know, well, yeah, I can show you on the side here. It's a little thin piece of metal. I mean, if you're going to keep this, you'd at least want to use some electrical tape on it. Maybe find some foam or something to put on there, because unless best friends with gloves, they're right there, real nice piece of equipment. And one of the things you got to figure out on your own is how this goes together right here. And it raises up and goes down, and it'll go all the way down like this. But when I was putting it underneath the Bronco like this, I couldn't get it to go up on its wheels. So I just had to skid it under on this. The only way to get it on the wheels is to bring it up to that position. Then you can tip it up, because it's got to go that angle right there to get it on the wheels. And you can't get it underneath the vehicle that way, because look at the angle of that. So you can't. So you just got to, you have to be just a sled and slide it underneath. I guess that covers it. I did 8 minutes here to cover a piece of crap, but I'm just putting it out there for everybody. If you do buy one of these, you want to put it together, you don't have any instructions, your bracket goes in with 2 long bolts like that. 2 really rinky-dink bolts hold it to the bottom down there. Oh, that's the other thing too. Look how that tubing comes through from the airbag, comes up and through. How long do you think that'd last until it's riding against that bolt right here? How long do you think that'd last until I went kapsh, and there was a hole in there? Anyway, we got these little rinky-dink bolts here. You got a bracket. You get this handle and this handle are separate, and then you got to use these 2. I guess it'd be a reinforcement plate, and bolt it together. And it comes with one of those. 8.8 is what the hardness on those are. So there you go. That's it. I think I've bashed it about all I can. So it's definitely not staying in my shop. That's for sure. I'm sending it back. Thank you, Amazon. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Helps me out tremendously. And I'm not going to put a link on here where to go to buy this thing, because I definitely don't need the 20 cents that Amazon would give me if you did buy it, because I don't want you to. So, all right, have a very blessed day.